I'm Casey Viera. The San Antonio Spurs, through 54 games, have their best record in essentially a decade. Now we just kind of wonder if the season will end a heck of a lot better than it did in 16-17. Looking at you, Mr. Zaza Pachulia.
I think it will. Jeff Garcia here, host of Locked On Spurs. Shout out Adam Silver. He did the right thing, giving Fox the nod to replace Giannis at the All-Star game. Spurs definitely deserved it. Second best team in the West. Got to have two All-Stars.
And I'm Devin Brown. Shout out to University of Texas, San Antonio. 3 of the 5 slots for the class of 26 San Antonio Hall of Fame go to UTSA. Congratulations to the newest members. Welcome to the club.
This is Locked On Spurs Squad Show, the twice-a-week show where Spurs talk gets real. No filters, no fluff, just raw takes, sharp opinions, and straight-up passion for the game. The way only Locked On Podcast Network knows how. Let's drop some dimes and squad up. The Spurs Squad Show starts now.
Indeed it does. And tonight's show brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Have your cake and drink it too. Birthday cake flavor is back. No fork needed. Vanilla cakey flavor, caffeinated kick, and no sugar. It's party time. Order now at 5hourenergy.com or at Amazon. Welcome into the Spurs Squad Show on a Thursday get-together, back to our usual time right here on Locked On Spurs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Man in the middle, toast of the title pod is Jeff Garcia. NBA champion Devin Brown, far side of your screen. I'm Casey Viera. A lot to talk about with the Spurs and all good things. Heading into the All-Star break, starting the rodeo road trip on a high note, taking their first 2 ahead of time. And we'll say, Jeff, you got it right ahead of time. You did call it. I'll give you your credit there. Beating the Lakers and the Warriors. And some good news for De'Aaron Fox, as he mentioned right off the jump there. Have a little bit of fun in the second block. Going to talk about whether Wemby or Mitch Johnson, they have the better shot at taking home their respective standout awards. Jeremy Sochan has his new home, and it's the New York Knicks. We'll talk about his new destination and whether it fits or maybe not. And finally, with the All-Star weekend on deck, we'll wrap things up by hoping what we hope to see, I guess, for the big weekend on deck. One that De'Aaron Fox is going to be a part of, and maybe credit to Mitch Johnson helping him out. A couple days removed after having his head coach advocate for him, or just the idea that the Spurs needed 2 All-Stars. That was the case because Giannis Antetokounmpo hurt. Norman Powell is going to hop from the USA to the World Team, and as a result, De'Aaron Fox is joining the All-Star game, joining the festivities in Los Angeles for the second time in his career, putting up 19 points a night, 6 assists a night for, as we know, the San Antonio Spurs, who are in a very good spot. 3rd best record in basketball, 38-16. And fellas, we wonder what might be next, because we're in the train, or at least on the know, have a real idea of what things may or may not be. Now the rest of the world, the national media is buying in, and they're stamping labels on these guys, firm ones, the C word, contenders. Whether they're that, I'm not particularly sure, but that's what we start with tonight. Jeff Garcia, is it too early to start talking title with the San Antonio Spurs team?
No, not at all. No, this team definitely can make a push for the title. They got all the ingredients. They have their franchise player, Wemby. We know what he did. I mean, look what he did versus the depleted Lakers. Just destroyed them. There's no answer for him. Second of all, you got the emerging Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox. Even you want to go with stats? If stats don't lie, then they don't lie. One of the best teams in offensive rating, one of the best teams in defensive rating, net rating, they're the top 10. If defense wins titles, then the Spurs definitely can make their case for that. This team is deep. This team is hungry. This team has proven time after time after time this regular season they can play with the big boys and beat the big boys. This team has shown the most they ever lost in a row was 2 games. That's it. That's their longest losing skid this year. 2 games. That's just phenomenal. They've shown their abilities to come back from deficits and even to just gut out wins and lean on their defense when their offense is struggling, as we saw after the Christmas. All in all, no, this team is looking like the makings of a great, I want to say great, a contending team already. No, it's not even close. Yeah, this team is ready to challenge OKC for that title.
Where are you at with things, DB?
All right. Well, first of all, shout out to Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi, because you're never going to see DB in a commercial running, pull the car up, running down the beach, getting ready, all in the commercial, running, jumping in the water. No, no, sir. I look at my surroundings. I make sure the water's not cold. And that's where I am with this team right now. You know me, I'm going to keep it honest with you guys. I'm not ready. I'm always ready. All right. To have a fiesta like San Antonio. To park my car on 281 and high five for 2 miles, to go to military. All right. Give me some good food, celebrate. But let me tell you something. Not yet. Not yet. I gotta see a couple of more, especially this road trip. And I gotta see a couple more. Y'all are talking about ingredients. I gotta get a couple more ingredients for this recipe before I start talking title. Now, can they do it? Yes. Do they have the ability to do it? Yes. But I already know how San Antonio is, and I get like that too. We get very excited with a good basketball team, and this is a very good basketball team. But right now, Casey, I got a couple of things that I need ironed out, especially with this gentleman, this an all-star now. All right, I got to get him locked in a little bit defensively. We talked about it yesterday. If I see Pat Spencer, coming out here looking like Steph Curry again, there's concerns. All right, so I'm going to go the other way with it. I want to see a couple of more games, and then I'll be right on board with everybody else.
Can I throw in something really quick? If I'm on a scale of 1 through 10, I'm like at an 8 right now that they are title contenders. Why am I not at a full 10?
Okay.
Is because this team is adjusted for the slow down game of the postseason, where every possession matters, every foul matters, everything matters. The closest we saw this team get to that type of environment was at the NBA Cup Finals. What did the Knicks do to them? They slowed it down. They outboarded them. So that's where I think maybe the Spurs could falter, because it's great playing up and down right now. It's great. It's regular season. Yeah, go for it. But when the game slows down, it becomes more of a half court. Can they thrive? And I think they can. When you get that guy, number one, Wemby. But outside of that, no. If anything bites them in the butt, will be obviously their lack of outside shooting, which we all know that's a big hiccup right now, and maybe rebounding. We've seen a few times this year, a lot of those losses came down to just them getting out physical and getting out rebounded.
Mm-hmm. Talent-wise, 1 through 15, I think right now I have a hard time not feeling like they're the best team on paper in basketball. I really do. 1 through 15, just the depth that they do have. I have a hard time having a real feeling that there's a roster better. After that, the playoff experience.
Yep.
And the half-court game, and when the game slows down,
Yep.
and when it comes to isolation possessions, when you need them in crunch time, I'm not there. So whatever Devin just said about bathing in Corpus Christi water, or whatever he just said, I'm not doing that neither, for everyone's sake. And I think it's because, yes, I'm confident that they can beat anyone in a playoff series not named the Denver Nuggets, if healthy.
Yeah.
I feel very good about that. But at the same time, am I going to predict them right now to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder for all those things that we were just saying about the game slowing down, for all those things, the lack of experience? We can't separate from the fact that we're a couple weeks removed, where they went through an 8-game stretch where they hardly cracked a third of their threes over that 8-game span. There's reason to believe that regression could come again, the way the ebbs and flows of being a streak shooting team is. That threat is there to do that. But right now, from purely a talent roster perspective, I think they're the best team in basketball right now. I do.
Ooh, okay.
But I do. I know, a very diplomatic answer for me, but if we're going to talk, I guess.
Better than Detroit?
Yeah.
I agree with you too. I think Detroit is good, but they're not that good.
Better than Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
better than the Knicks, better than anyone in the East. I feel like,
yeah, pretty much.
I think the two best rosters in basketball right now are them in Oklahoma City.
Hey, Casey, you're setting the Spurs up with karma because they got all these teams you're talking about on the trip. Let me say this. And I think that this is important. If you think about it, right? 7-game series, you got to beat me 4 times. I have Stephon Castle. All right. The reason why I think they're better than the Lakers is you can put him on Luka. He's going to give him problems.
Yep.
All right. Now, and yeah, exactly. Now, if you go team by team, like I like Stephon Castle going against SGA for 7 games. I just think that he has some stuff defensively that he's going to figure out. Right.
Yeah.
Now, and you can go team by team when you do this. The Houston Rockets. I forget Denver.
Yeah.
Denver. If the emergence of Carter Bryant, if you can tap into having Carter Bryant deal with the Joker, you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going? So I love the fact what y'all are saying about 1 through 15 with the roster. I just wanted to clarify this because I didn't want people jumping to conclusions on the things that I said. So if you go player by player and the guys that are in this rotation, I love it all day long. The problem I have is, are the Spurs going to be smart enough to get Wemby the basketball down the stretch in games? Because I don't know if – I know people listen to Sean Elliott, but are you hearing the frustration out of him when the Spurs do go through a bad deal? Because Wemby needs the basketball, Casey. I just want to throw that out there.
I think that's valid. And it goes along the lines of I feel like what I was saying too is that I have questions about that offense. I mean, I have questions about that offense in crunch time. I have questions when things get hard. Where are the points going to come from? And if I see them in 7 against Jamal Murray that's cooking right there, and they can't figure out what's going on in the half court, and they're coming up with these stagnant possessions where they have Victor launching contested, relatively speaking, because I know nothing's really contested with him, but 25 footers with 4 on the shot clock because they can't get anything going. There's a world where I see that's happening, that I can see that happen. And that's what's scaring me. And that's what has me worried about them taking that next step. But then it's like, okay, you got to consider everyone else around you. And I guess kind of your definition of what is a contender, Are we calling a contender a team that can go to the conference finals? That should be in the conference finals? So like, what is our kind of analysis there? Because like, there's not much of a gap between any one of those top teams in the Western Conference. It's splitting hairs. So are we going to say that like 1 through, 4 are contenders? Yeah, at least I think it's OKC, Denver, and the Spurs, and then I think kind of everyone else. That's what I'm just trying to get the definition. What do you guys think of that on that side? Because in an open and playing field, is contender kind of a broadened definition? I'm not particularly sure.
For this year, I think it's kind of narrowed because you just said it right now. It's just really those top teams in the West. Excuse me. And here's the thing too. I want to go back to what I said earlier about the game slowing down in the postseason. I just got this feeling that we've seen this team lose games because of rebounding and not knocking down the long ball or the 3 shot. I think that could ultimately doom them. Because you mentioned, if you get Jamal Murray cooking, you get a Steph Curry if he's back in time, which I believe he might be. I don't think he's shut down for the season. So no. So and you imagine that you draw them at the 7th seed, and this first day at 2. That could be a problem. But I don't know. I want to go back to something you said a little while ago. The experience. I know this team collectively doesn't have much of not any postseason experience outside of you guys. Mm-hmm. But do we overvalue that? Is it one of those things where you just don't think about it? Just go out there and play.
I feel like that's a Devin question.
All right, Devin, what do you think? Yeah. Is that more of a is a playoff experience overrated? Is it simply just go out there and play?
Yeah, no, you definitely just go out there and play. Look what OKC. They didn't have the experience. They just had They have talent. And those guys, they just went out there, they play the game. And once you get into the rhythm and you're trying to lock in on getting stops, and then people are scoring the basketball and it's coming from different angles, 2-3 players like they do with SGA and Jalen and Chet, you're not thinking about where you're at. You're just, oh, wow. The next day you'll wake up and you're like, oh, wow, I did that in game 4. Well, that was huge. So, no, it's just about going out there and playing. And the Spurs have the type of roster where they can just go out there and play basketball and be able to get away with it. Because if I'm looking alongside me and I see number 1 and he's got that look that he's had, like this whole season, I got to just play the game. I can't be out there overthinking.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find like where the downfall will be, what it could be in that spot. And
I think it's outside shooting. I think it's the long ball.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I agree. And I think the times that when they're just void of shot making in some of these ruts that we've seen it, and thankfully the defense at least recently has been good enough in these scenarios where when the shot making's not go, like that's what keeps them into the game. And that was kind of a question I presented the other day after Golden State game. Will their defense be able to bail them out in some of these kind of spots? Like, it might be a big ask, but can they do it? Like they did it last night. They did it against the Warriors because it was not exactly you weren't exactly looking at an offensive clinic on the Spurs side of things, but you were looking at consistent defense lead into offense and points in transition. Like, is that going to be what it is for them to win? Probably.
Well, and also too, because the strength of the Spurs offensively is getting downhill.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Just getting on transition, getting downhill. And
yeah,
that doesn't. It don't happen every once in a while in the playoffs, but mainly it's a half court game.
Yeah. So when you guys talk about stops, let's go to last night. 48-minute game. The Spurs played defense for 14 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
because Golden State in the first half, and I meant to tell you this last night, Casey, and I think you've already known this. Put them on the list of not being scared of Wemby because Gary Payton the second in the first half, that was Wemby's matchup. He was like just going at him. And I'm like, Wemby, he's left-handed. Wemby, he's left-handed. Well, finally, when Coach Mitch made a couple of substitutions, one of them being Keldon getting in there, that's when the defensive intensity turned up. Cornette was a part of that too. I think they matched up better with that second group, and that's when they got it going. Well, in the playoffs, and this speaks to what you guys are saying or some of your concerns, you're going to have to play defense for longer than that. And so it's a huge concern of mine just going, and I'm making a reference to last night because I saw it last night in that first half where Golden State was getting whatever they wanted. Here's another problem when you play a team that has a stretch 4 that's knocking shots down, sort of what like Post did last night. You're putting Wemby away from the basket. Who else is going to be able to get stops if Wemby's not underneath the goal?
No, it's true. It's true. And thankfully they have the luxury of 28 games to figure it out. Yeah, 38-16. Like I said from the jump, their best record through 54 games since the 16-17 season. That team won 61 games. So cracking 60 might be a little ambitious now that we say that, but because that'd be 23-5 the rest of the way. You never know. We'll find out. Hey, let's talk about a little bit more. Yeah, I'm kind of on Jeff's wavelength there. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. We'll take it. Yeah. Anyways, I'll also take a Victor Wembanyama MVP or Mitch Johnson Coach of the Year. Whether either of those two will happen, I'm not particularly sure. But the bettors are at least giving them a reasonable chance. So coming up on the other side, we'll kind of debate a little bit. Which of the two scenarios has a better chance of happening? And could the Spurs be ending the year with some more individual hardware? Got that for you and a little bit more coming up right here on the Spurs Squad Show on Locked On Spurs. But before we keep having more fun, we step aside to talk about a few of our friends who help in driving this program. And you want to talk about fun? That Favorite time of year, tax season, right around the corner. And I know it's frustrating, but we all got to do it, right? It doesn't have to take over your life. Listen, TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and carry on with your day, carry on with your week. Because with TurboTax full service, you can have your taxes done by a trusted local expert, start to finish. No stress, no guesswork, and they handle everything. W-2s to the self-employed forms. They work to get you every deduction that you need, that you deserve. So for a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in. If the expert did not file for you last year and you're running out of time to do it, it's February 12th. You need to get it done by the 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit turbotax.com/local to book your appointment today. Also wanted to remind you guys with the fun stuff we got going on the Locked On family over here, something that you should take part in. It's called the Everydayer Club. As you already know, we're the #1 sports podcast network in the world, and we thank you for that. If you want a little bit more, Locked On Spurs or wherever you get your Locked On content, whatever team it may be, check out the Everydayer Club at the link in your screen right there, lockedonpodcast.com. We've got a whole bunch of cool stuff, individual member perks, ad-free audio feeds, Discords. Check it out, lockedonpodcast.com/everydayer. All right. As we know, the Spurs are very much in contention for many of accolades, including individual accolades. So let's have a little bit of fun here now that the sample sizes have started to grow a little bit. I'm going to pose two hypotheticals here. Which of the two have a better chance of happening? Does Mitch Johnson, currently at plus 900, fourth best odds in the BetMGM world at least, to win Coach of the Year, does that have a better chance at happening than Victor Wembanyama winning the MVP? He is a more considerable, sizable gap, sixth best at BetMGM. Yeah. Some boards don't even actually have him up there right now because he only has 4 games left to spare before hitting the 65 games mark, or what would be lack thereof, to take him out of it. I am going to play that aspect of it a little bit to offer a little bit of context here. So SGA is the favorite on the MVP side currently. But as we know, he's hurt. Jokic missed a lot of time. He was hurt. So we'll factor those two things into the equation here. Better chance of happening. Victor MVP, Mitch Johnson Coach of the Year. Devin, what do you think?
Oh, man.
I don't know. Well, first of all, I mean, Casey, I give you credit for your question, but he's only got 4 games to spare. I love that part of it. And then, does Mitch really want the Coach of the Year? You know, Monty Williams was Coach of the Year in 21-22. Mike Brown, I believe, was Coach of the Year when he was with Sacramento. I don't know if you want that award, because things just seem to fall apart. But you know, Coach Mitch has done a great job with the fellas this year. You know, with the lineups and things like this, and the Spurs continue to be healthy. He's got a lot on his plate when you come to Coach of the Year. So you know that is what it is. And like you said, SGA's hurt. Yeah, we love the Joker, but don't disrespect what Cade's doing in Detroit. He's got them relevant again. He's out there every night. He's playing very good, and I mean high-level basketball. But for the sake of your question, with 4 games to spare, I'll go Mitch, Coach of the Year, because let me tell you something. If Wemby has to do it, and I don't think he does, have to with people like Draymond Green too much, he ain't gonna. That 4 games gonna get ate up real quick. So I'm gonna go Mitch, Coach of the Year.
Man, I'm gonna go neither happen. Neither happen. I don't see it. I think Wemby, yeah, the odds are just no, that ain't gonna happen. Scratch that out. Mitch, although he does have a shot, but what JB is doing in Detroit, I mean, my goodness. I mean, that's a turnaround. That's a turnaround. I think for Mitch to overcome that gap is what you said right before the break. They would have to go some incredible run to close out the season, the last 20-ish games. But barring that, no, I think he'll be in the mix. Maybe finish top 3, top 4. But no, I don't see it happening. I don't see, but I do see it happening in some point in his career, given the projection of this team. But no, I don't see it happening for either of you guys.
Mitch winning Coach of the Year is what you were saying at some point.
Yeah, at some point, yes.
Interesting. I think if there was ever a time for Mitch Johnson to win Coach of the Year, it would probably be this year. It would probably be this year, all things considered. Given the fact that it's his first full season, so people tend to love that dynamic of things. There's always kind of that little bit of a boost that voters tend to give that first crack. They're doing that. Factor in the fact that Victor has missed a month. Factor in the fact that every single player on this team, currently on this team, they have not only taken a leap, but an incremental leap. And that is a big reason why they're doing what they're doing. That is a big reason why when Victor missed that essentially whole month of December, they won 3/4 of their games. He was able to maximize what they had. For as much as we say it's a testament to the players for showing up and doing their thing like that, Castle, he deserves obviously plenty of the credit, majority of the credit. Fox as well. Fox, at least in this context, earned his all-star right. But Mitch Johnson, in my opinion, right now, I think season ends today. If I had a vote, I would probably put Mitch Johnson Coach of the Year right now.
Really? Interesting.
Over JB Bickerstaff. All those things considered. Because he plays in a tougher conference. I understand he has Victor, but he has not had a healthy team. But he has the third best record in basketball. I understand I'm not going to cry myself to sleep if he loses to the JB Bickerstaff things. I'm not. But right now, if I had a vote, Mitch, I would take right now Coach of the Year. And then on the Victor side of things, I would not vote for him. You can't miss a month. The way I see it, you can't miss a month of the season and still win the award. Especially what Cade is doing. Right now on the Victor side of things, I'd probably go SGA, Cade, Jokic right now. But anyways, go ahead, Jeff.
No, if I had a vote right now for Coach of the Year, I would still give it a JB. Not taking away anything from Mitch, but I see it the opposite. I think JB is doing more with less in Detroit. Outside of Cade, who is their second best player? Can you give me who's their second best? Jalen Duren?
Well, there's a few of them. Tobias Harris is his career's back. But it's their bench. Guys 6 through 8, they're really good.
That's my point. I feel like JB is getting a lot more, and I'm not disparaging the Detroit roster, but with less than what Mitch is getting out of a more packed roster in San Antonio. Yes, he's playing in an easier conference, and Mitch is playing in a more difficult conference. But I think JB has done a lot more with one superstar, while Mitch has one megastar and one all-star and emerging, and then a bunch of emerging all-stars. He just feels like he has a lot more weapons than perhaps JB does.
See, this is where I disagree. Because I think it's the same argument. Because we're saying that in a complimentary lens of the Spurs players, because we talk about them essentially every night. But on the Detroit side of things, they're looking at the Spurs roster at the start of the year and even now, and they're saying, what's so special about Keldon Johnson? What's so special about Julian Champagnie? What's so special about Devin Vassell? These are all role players. Just like we're on this side, we're saying, what's so special about Ron Holland? What's so special about Isaiah Stewart? What's so special about these guys? So I think the same kind of principle, the same kind of thing applies to both sides, because the Spurs have the top 10 player, top 5 player. The Pistons have the top 10 player. The Spurs have a second all-star. The Pistons have a second all-star. Do the Spurs have maybe a third all-star that could help in boosting, I guess, Bickerstaff's case for it, or at least lessening Mitch's on that front? Maybe. But I think to say that the optics of it, that JB is doing more with less, Yeah, that might be true. But to suggest that Mitch has not brought out more out of less with guys who have been essentially written off as role players, at least in my book, because they hadn't really shown anything beyond that coming into the season. I think Mitch does. If we're going to have that argument for Bickerstaff, I think Mitch deserves, that leg to stand on as well. Go ahead, Devin.
No, I don't have anything outside of that. Bernie Bickerstaff was part of the coaching staff when I got my first ever 10-day with the Nuggets. So anybody that was a part of that, you've come a long way in the NBA, because I think at the time when they picked me up, they were 48 games back of the 8th spot.
Bernie or JB?
Huh?
Bernie. You said
No,
Bernie.
Bernie. No,
Bernie.
the original.
Okay.
The original.
Okay.
Bernie, not JB.
I was trying to
I've known JB a long time.
Yeah,
we were part of the same agency as far as our agents, but I'm talking about Bernie, the original.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I was like, JB Bickerstaff's not that old. I was like,
yeah. Oh, wow, Casey. Wow.
Hey,
my goodness. What the title is that makes me look old. What are you talking about?
No, I have the Scotty Cameron on today.
Yeah, I know.
Really would have aged you a couple more. You were talking about the Hall of Famers. You were saying welcome to the club. That added a five more years onto the resume. But no. you're shouting out the youngins joining the old heads.
Exactly. And all three of them come in are older than me. Larry Coker, my goodness.
Oh, good time. Sorry, Jeff. What you got before we pivot here?
No, I think either way, I think down the road, Wemby will get an MVP. I think Mitch will likely get one. I can see him getting one. Because you got to figure this Spurs team is going to one day have some amazing record. When everything comes together. They're just going to be wrecking shop, kind of what we saw OKC do last season and a little part of this season. I think then that's what will happen. Mm-hmm. But this year, no. But kudos to him. He's going to finish close there in the final vote. I think he's going to get a lot of first place votes, but I just see like we were talking about right now, that reverse lens right there. You see it like this way, and in San Antonio, I see it. The JB's doing more with less in Detroit. It just feels that way. That's because fair. Sure, there's Devin, and then there's Keldon, and then there's Luke Cornett, but the Spurs got Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox. Outside of Cade, it's then who else?
Jalen Duren is an all-star.
Sure, but I mean,
Jalen Duren is one of the best big men in the NBA. And is going to be one of the best big men in the NBA for a while. Like, JB's got talent.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if we're going to use the talent argument to play down Mitch's argument and then bump up JB's, I don't think
so. Then Vegas has it wrong. Then they should deduct for playing in the weaker conference.
Yeah,
because right now they're giving them.
The Spurs are only a couple games. The Spurs are only a couple games back. They have the third best record in basketball. To have a sizable
if Mitch can vault them into that first spot, then I think that changes everything.
Yeah, certainly won't hurt.
Changes everything. Yeah,
certainly won't hurt.
Yeah, not at all.
We'll see. They play each other twice on the other side of the All-Star break.
Yes, they do.
Right when the Spurs hit the road again after Austin, the two Austin games back in town, and then that's the first game that they have on the Eastern portion, leg of the Eastern Conference portion of the trip. And then as soon as they get back home on a Thursday night, they get Detroit again. So I think that's twice in 6 games they get the Pistons. So I guess we'll get a real answer then as to what that's happening about. Hey, we also got an answer today about the question of what's Jeremy Sochan's future going to be looking like? Well, it's actually going to be on the East Coast. It's going to be with the New York Knicks, a team that a lot of people kind of linked him to at the trade deadline. Knickerbockers end up getting their guy. And is this perhaps the team that Jeremy's best suited for? That's what we'll discuss on the other side. And his time here in San Antonio, right here on the Spurs Squad Show on Locked On Spurs. But before we do, we have a conversation about another one of our friends who help in putting this program on the air. It is that time of season. It is flu season. It is cold season. It is out. You know what it is. Listen, finding a doctor it can feel like finding a diamond in the rough, because this time of year you want someone who's nearby, but they're not in network, and they're far, but they are in network. Then you're looking for the availability or lack thereof. It's a pain. But that's why we talk about ZocDoc, because they make it a whole lot easier. It's a free app and website. It helps you find and book high quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love without all the hassle. And we're talking about in-network appointments with more than 150,000 providers, all 50 states, 200 plus specialties, primary care, dentistry, dermatology, eye care, whatever you're looking for. ZocDoc's got it. So stop putting off these doctor's appointments. ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA to find and instantly book a doctor that you love and is near you. ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA. ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA. And as always, thank you to our friends over there for sponsoring this message. End of an era today for one of the Spurs' more colorful characters in recent memory. Jeremy Sochan has a new home, and it is out east with the New York Knickerbockers. I guess the era technically ended yesterday, Wednesday, when he was given his release. But Jeremy was reportedly eyeing about 10 teams, it was said to have been reported, and ultimately decided on an Eastern Conference contender, a team that is a little bit of void in wing depth, and has a chance to, you're talking about Cade Cunningham before the break, probably earn himself some pivotal matchups against Cade Cunningham. When the games get infinitely more important against two teams who have a realistic chance of facing each other in the conference finals. The Spurs do play this Knicks in a couple weeks, March 1st, Madison Square Garden. Going to be fantastic. Devin Brown, you like the fit?
Yeah, Mike Brown to the rescue. My man, Mike Brown. Hey, here we go, Jeremy. When they play the Spurs, half silver, half black. Big statement game. All right. Mike Brown is a pop guy, big pop guy. Jeremy's going to give them that feistiness. New York's going to love him because now you can mix it up and not get in trouble. All right. I feel like he was trying to do that, but he's trying to do that from the bench with street clothes. You lose your cred then. He's going to play. He's a great fit for the Knicks. And again, like I said, Mike Brown to the rescue.
Jeff, what you thinking?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I think it's a good fit. I think if we're looking at Knicks fans right now, because don't expect any offensive juggernaut nights, but he's definitely going to be adding to their dog mentality. Excuse me. Sorry, but I'm dealing with a bad cough. I've been sick the last 2-3 days.
ZocDoc. I hope you were listening during the break, man.
That was. By the way, everybody, wash your hands. Okay, wash your hands. Apparently I didn't, but it's been a rough 2 days. Let's put it that way.
You need me to take over the point? You need a second?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
First of all, like I said, if you're a Knicks, if you're watching this show right now or whoever, you're not expecting an offensive juggernaut. That ain't gonna happen. But he's gonna add to their dog mentality. Add to the guys of Jose Alvarado, Brunson, Hart, Sohan, Mitchell Robinson, workman-like players that fit what the model that the Knicks are having right now out on the court. They needed length off that bench. They got it. We forget he's still young. What is he? 22 years old.
22 years old.
Still a kid. He's just a kid. So who knows? Maybe Mike Brown, as Devin you mentioned, a pop disciple, will have a flourish again, because it is interesting that under Pop played pretty well. Under Mitch, who's non-existent. So maybe that will help him in his new New York uniforms. Here's the thing, though. I'm interested in seeing which Spur he's going to try to get feisty with. I would love to see that. Who's he going to get under the skin with when they face off each other on the road trip? Is he going to badmouth and talk smack to Mitch on the sidelines?
If there's a loose ball, absolutely. Robert Ory.
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine in that building, He mixes it up with Wemby. Loose ball,
Oh
something like
my
that. They get
God.
tangled up. Double text
The
situation
views.
in the garden. Just
It
that
writes
vibe,
itself.
man. I
No,
don't know if it'll happen, but yeah, go ahead, Devin.
no, Isaiah Stewart. You don't go after
Isaiah.
LeBron James. You go after one of the other players. So no, he's not gonna mix it
Oh,
up
you're
with
not gonna
Wemby.
fight him?
He's only
No.
22. Y'all keep saying that. Don't mix it up with Wemby. But if there's a loose ball towards that sideline, hey, I'm diving 5 rows. But when I leap, it's gonna be right over top of Mitch.
I can see him getting Castle agitated for some reason.
No,
Castle seems to
no,
be a
no,
little bit,
no. He's got to
little
go after
chip, I'm sure.
Cornette. Go after
Nah,
Cornette.
Cornette will be like whatever.
Cornette doesn't care.
But I can, I can see him going up the
You give him a
court.
hug. Not Wemby. Sohan would slap him across the face. Cornette would give him a kiss on the forehead.
I
Go
could
ahead.
definitely see him running up the court and throwing some verbal smack towards Mitch Johnson. Imagine if he hits a couple threes or he has some insane night from beyond the arc.
If
No, I
in the
can't
scouting
imagine.
report they leave him wide open, like they leave him wide open at the top, he's all by himself, like Rajon Rondo type treatment.
Yeah.
And he hits a couple, yes, he's gonna glare down Mitch. Absolutely.
Ooh, I cannot wait to see if that happens.
I like the fit. I like the fit. I like it from the sense that the Knicks need a little bit more wing depth. As we saw last year in the postseason, they're in spots where when you're playing Towns and Brunson at the same time, 2 out of the 5 guys can't be defensive, liabilities. And that's what bit the Knicks in the postseason last year. But they seem to have figured it out a little bit this year because in crunch time, they've been going with the Mitchell Robinson on the floor instead of Cat. And they rattled off 10 of 12. I think that's what it is heading into the break after they lost 9 of 11. And that was kind of a big thing, was that they went with the Mitchell Robinson thing down the stretch as opposed to, Karl-Anthony Towns. Mitchell Robinson also doesn't play on back-to-backs. OG Anunoby's dealing with a toe thing right now. So the point that I'm going to make, Devin, here is that it's not a Mitchell Robinson thing. It's creating opportunities for Jeremy to show himself. That's the point that I'm getting at, is that with Mitchell Robinson, and there's only 5 more back-to-backs. So there's 5 back-to-backs on the Knicks schedule. So that's at least 5 games that Jeremy's going to get a crack to show something here. And if he does, good on him, because I think there's there to be had.
And he's going to have to show out too, because technically he's in a contract year.
And he's in a contract year.
Yeah, he's going to have to show out.
So you said a couple of very interesting things. And I don't want people to forget, Mike Brown was in with the Warriors for a long time.
Yeah.
Mike Brown doesn't seem to be a big fan of Cat. Mike Brown just picked up Jeremy Sochan that could come in and play a Draymond role. This could be very interesting. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to say.
That's interesting that you say that.
This is the last thing I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because, Casey, think about this. Think about the market that he just signed in.
Yeah.
Think about a couple of games, like you said, he gets feisty. The New York people love him. Everybody's going to be looking at the Spurs like, y'all just gave this guy away.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. So this is going to be a very interesting next month or two for him and revitalizing that career.
Here's the thing too. 22 draft class for the Spurs, one of the biggest failures, right? It's got to be.
Officially done, Jeff.
It's got to be one of the biggest failures. Sohan, that was a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Torrey Eason was there. J-Dub was there.
Well,
then you use the last 2 first-round picks instead of packaging them, giving them up or trading them. You got Malachi and Blake Wesker gone.
Yeah, one of those guys got traded twice in one day and waived.
Yep.
That's true. Malachi Branham, unfortunately. I like Malachi.
Casey, you didn't have to say his name.
Listen, all it takes is a Google search, bro. It just happened like 4 days ago. So
I
tell you what, Wemby keeps people employed. Wemby gets people in jobs. And look no further than Brian Wright. because, and a testament to Brian Wright, since Victor, he's done a whole lot right. But prior to that, just look from 2020 to 2022, the draft class. 2020, Vassell over Tyrese Halliburton. 2021, Josh Primo. 2022, all those things that you just said. Thankfully, they ended up getting Victor. And thankfully, that slate is wiped clean. And it's a chance for him to hit the reset button. And he did, and he made the most of it because hit on Castle, obviously. Yep. Nailed the Fox trade. Hit on Cornette signing. Harper, I'm a little bit more in the I don't say this in a sense that I don't think he's a top pick, but in the sense that he's the outright number 2. I think the judge is a little bit still out there, but in the grand scheme of things, point being, I think Brian Wright, since post Wemby, has kind of, exercised the demons of what it was pre-Victor for sure.
Knipple.
Yeah. I mean, Knipple on this team right now solves everything.
Oh,
solves a lot. Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
No. I agree with you that Knipple definitely solves everything. But yeah, 2022 draft class. What could have been? What gets me is that Jay Williams was on the board. J-Dub was right there, and they passed.
I don't know if at the time, I think his body type scared everybody.
Really?
He's a little hefty. He was. Mm-hmm. He's working on it right now, but he's a little hefty.
Well, and he's been hurt a majority of the season this year too. So
yep.
Oh well, I mean, hey, that's called a championship hangover, Casey.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hamstrings just get a little bit more sore. When
hey, listen, and he got paid. Hey, listen.
He got paid. Yeah.
Hey, is it cold outside? Oh, I can't go today, coach.
It's tougher to walk with heavier pockets.
Oh, hey, 1st and 15th, they sneak up on you.
1st and 15th, that's when those hamstrings started flaring up.
Hey, what do you think about this comment from one of the viewers right now? From Jake Alvarez. Harper over Khan any day? Any day.
I mean,
I don't know about any day. Hey, man.
Yeah,
that young man can fill it up. Like, fill it up.
Yeah. How many more wins does Khan give this Spurs team? Where they're at right now?
Or
I go plus. I'm gonna keep it simple. +5.
5.
+5. Wow.
5.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it simple. +5.
That's simple. What's complex? 5.
I'm looking at the record now, and I'm like, nah, there wouldn't have been any shooting woes.
Yep.
Think about it. He opens up the floor for. Well, where are we talking about this? He opens up the floor for Wemby.
Yeah. I think the thing with Harper is that Harper's in a spot where it's just not a traditional spot for the number 2 pick in a draft. You're anticipating that guy to come in and contribute immediately, and he's not in a spot from a volume sense where he gets that. So it's a unique circumstance with him. If you're going to be short-sighted and say, does Khan fit better? Absolutely. Absolutely he does. But the long-term game, I think that's where it gets a little bit more dicey. I don't think it's as much as it is an indictment of Harper for his talent or lack thereof, but I just don't know if it's been a great situation so far, him coming off the bench. In terms of his individual development, I just think he needs kind of those reps, that time out there, and we haven't really seen it. It's not going to get to the Sohan extent. I know that front, but
right,
it's a little bit different. Go ahead. Sorry, Jeff. I know you were hanging on something.
Oh no. I was gonna say, but looking at this, Sohan issue and what happened, it just makes me think, like, especially in that Laker game, for him to not get any burn after the Spurs just pasted the Lakers. I mean, to me, that felt a little bit more personal.
Well, what was weird about it? Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because what was strange about it was the fact that he played the Dallas game
right
after the deadline. The report from The Athletic came out that said that he was going to stay the rest of the season with the team.
right
Then they go to LA and he doesn't play in that blowout, like you said. So did something happen there?
Yeah.
That they just both came to an agreement that the marriage is over, that we don't want to wait? It kind of feels like it.
Yeah.
Right?
It felt
Hey,
personal.
so Jeff, I know you're in the building all the time, and
Yeah.
I want you to confirm this because I don't want people thinking that, you know, I'm just like say things. If you don't play 15 minutes, you got to give me 15 minutes on the treadmill after the game. All right. So that's been a standard in San Antonio. All right. So if you don't get to that number, you got to get your conditioning in. It's usually after the game in some capacity, lifting weights, whatever it is. My point is this. When you're in Jeremy's situation and you're around coaching staff and you're around the head coach every single day, you have to see these people every single day. You're not playing. You've started in this league. You've had success. You're not playing. Certain coaches' vibes towards you, going around the locker room, shaking people's hand, great game, Wemby, boom, and then you're next, and they tap you on your knee and walk by, you're going to feel a certain way about that. And you're going to say, hey, man, when you come by me, you shake my hand. I don't care if I got there on the court or not. Hey, so that's the attitude. Something happened. If I'm with you, Jeff. If you don't play in a 40-point blowout, something's going on.
Yes.
That's all I got, Casey.
Think of at that point, it doesn't matter if he doesn't fit the defensive or offensive scheme.
No. If we're winning by 40 and you don't put me in the game, me and you we got issue.
That had to, in my opinion, that had to be what broke everything. That had to be it.
Yeah, and I think we maybe not to that extent, but we've known for over a year now that him and Mitch haven't been on the same page.
Oh,
we've known for a year now that was the case.
No, because you're absolutely right. Because at that draft,
sorry, Devin.
When they bring that up, that they're going to get Carter, if you're Mitch, you go, no, whoa, I got Jeremy. Why do you want Carter? That didn't happen. So you're right.
But then how do you explain that for that week of play where Sohan looked like, he's going to get back in the rotation? So he showed something. You remember he had like that 3-4 game stretch.
When he first came back, starting that game in LA, he had like 16 off the bench.
And he was just like scoring and being Sohan that we saw under Pop. You said
you want me to explain that?
Yeah, how do you explain that? How do you explain?
Yeah, because when you're trying to move a guy and the team's like, well, what kind of shape is he in? Then you go, okay, all right, keep an eye on this next game. And then what happens?
Yeah.
He magically appears out there, looks good, but what happened after that? You hadn't seen it. You hadn't really seen Jeremy since they were at Memphis, and think about when that was.
Months ago.
That's true.
No, and they really did themselves no favor when you lay it out just like that. In terms of getting trade value back for him, they did themselves no favors. Because for a year, not falling out of the rotation last year, drafting Carter Bryant, not giving him the extension, not putting him back in the rotation. So, like, how are you going to get anything of substance from that when you're openly saying like we don't have a place for him? So I was more surprised when the report came out that said that he was staying.
Me too.
The fact that he's gone. All right, now I think it makes more sense.
It made more sense to me that he would get waived.
Yeah.
I was on previous Lockdown Spurs shows when Jeremy wasn't, around the trade deadline saying, I'm expecting him just to get waived.
Yeah.
And it happened. Because I don't think teams were willing to trade for a player that hasn't been really seen on the court this year. Started the season with injuries and fallen out of rotation in San Antonio, where it's everybody contributes and everybody is part of a winning culture and doesn't get any burn, I think either one, teams are just saying, all right, maybe we get him on the cheap, or two, wait till he gets waived, or three, he's going to enter a restricted free agency. We'll just get him then. So we don't have to give San Antonio anything back to him. But yeah, it does rub me a little bit wrongly that Spurs didn't get anything. Second round pick, I would have taken it. Anything. Yeah. But one more thing. I know you got to hit the brakes in, or we're coming up to the clock.
No, that's fine. But yeah, go ahead.
Do you think the Spurs did Sohan dirty? The point guard experiment?
No.
Then the Mitch? No? Okay.
No. If anything, they gave him too much to throw. Because the point guard experiment, that was them doubling down on their belief in him.
Okay.
Because that came Victor's rookie season. They were going, they invested a ton into that from the jump. So I don't think they didn't. I think he got more than enough chance here, and I think he was a Pop guy. But
he definitely was.
Once Pop leaves, not yet.
Jeez.
You're right. I know he was a Pop guy.
Yeah.
But once the coaching change happened, not the first player to fall out of the rotation. Even if we are talking about the tree type deal of what it is, the Spurs, it doesn't mean that Mitch is the same guy as Pop. As we've learned, he's not.
He's
a
not.
different guy, and that's what it proved to be.
And then another sign of that the writing was on the wall was when the report came out that the Spurs told Sohan and his team, go look for a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you need to say? We don't want you here anymore.
Right.
It felt like they just said, bring us the paperwork, we'll rubber stamp it, bye.
Which is essentially what happened.
Yeah, basically.
Which is essentially what happened. We'll see. Again, March 1st, that's a national TV game. Sunday game, I believe, Sunday. March 1st, Knicks, Spurs.
Jeremy goes off for 50.
That will not happen. I'm not going to advertise.
That ain't going to happen, everybody.
No, I'm not. Hey,
damn.
Almost.
Yeah, dig it, Devin.
Yeah. Almost time for us to get out of here. As we know, big All-Star weekend on deck. Going to talk about some of the things we're hoping to see with plenty of Spurs representation going to be out there in Los Angeles. But before we do, it's very fitting that this is our next ad, because Jeremy Sochan, if you're listening, I have a perfect spot for you where you can check in and get some new furniture and other home items, if you will. Yeah, you're going to want to go by way of Wayfair. The new year is here, and it's the perfect time to reset your routine and refresh your space. And if you're spending more time at home, might as well love how it looks, right? From bedding, mattresses, storage solutions, every room, Wayfair's got you covered. They have everything you need for a full home refresh, all in one place. Whether you're updating the living room, organizing your space, upgrading your work from home setup, whatever it is, their huge selection makes it easy to find exactly what works for your style and, more importantly, for your budget. So get organized, refreshed, and get back on track for a whole lot less with Wayfair. Head on over to wayfair.com, shop all things home, WAYFAIR.com with Wayfair. Every style and every home. Almost time for us to get out of here on the Spurs Squad Show. Of course, San Antonio with plenty of representation going into All-Star Weekend between Victor in the game, Mitch Johnson coaching one of the teams, Carter Bryant in the dunk contest, Stephon Castle in the Rising Stars game. And if you hadn't heard, a very late add to the All-Star teams as well, in that De'Aaron Fox was selected today to be a Western Conference All-Star, or I guess this year be a World All-Star.
There you go.
So it's advertised. So no games between now and when we get together next week. Usually we're talking about what we were hoping to see on that front. Only one game, and I guess a couple games, Rising Stars, celebrity games, All-Star game, the dunk contest, 3-point shootout. Jeff Garcia, what are you hoping to see by the time we get together next week?
Carter coming back with a dunk crown. I think the only guy I'd see him give him some comp is that kid out of Orlando, Jace Richardson.
Yeah.
That's about it. Wemby getting the MVP. And I also want to see how Mitch plays defense on Wemby. So, oh, no, he got behind you guys. I'll just let him go. I'm pretty sure he's not telling the bigs on Team USA or whatever, Team Stripes, pound him on the chest and knock him to the ground. That ain't happening. So expect light defense from Team USA, Mitch Johnson's team. So, yeah, expecting Wemby to have a great game.
What are you hoping for, Devin?
I'll tell you what. I hit the ball well today. My putting I'm a good putter. It was a little suspect. But what I'm hoping is I'm playing tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can, keep the ball in the fairway, playing a tough course. Got to keep the ball in the fairway and make some putts.
So, Devin,
it's the All-Star break. I'm not watching any of that.
I was going to say,
I'm playing golf.
For those of you scoring at home, that would imply that Devin Brown is not going to be watching.
I'm not paying attention to none of that. When we break, we break. It's All-Star break.
He's still in the player mentality. He's like, I'm not going to be at the game. Why do I have to watch it?
Devin, did you ever want to get invited to like the dunk contest or a 3-point shootout, anything?
I put it. All right, here we go, Jeff. Perfect. Hey, coming out of UTSA,
yeah,
I went, and if y'all find footage on this, I'm gonna get very upset.
Casey will probably.
So my senior year, I went to the Final Four. I was in the dunk contest. I was so hyped, and I did not complete a dunk when it was my turn.
Oh,
and so I think they've held that against me my whole career.
What was that? 2000? 2001?
That was 2002.
2002.
2002. I was in the dunk contest. You know the college all-stars
yeah.
do the 3-point and dunk. Yes, look it up. We were in Atlanta.
Was that?
We were in Atlanta.
Was that Michigan State? Was that the year that Mateen Cleaves, Mo Pete? Was that team?
I don't know who was at the Final Four. I was across town. We did the dunk contest and the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is Felipe, was it Felipe Lopez?
Felipe Lopez.
He was in the dunk contest with me.
St. John's.
Yeah. I did not complete a dunk. I was so embarrassed, man. When I was walking off, the people in Atlanta, Casey let me have it. They were like, "What school are you from?" I was like,
oh my God, Devin! Way to represent, Devin.
Exactly.
I have my homework assignment for the weekend, so thank you for that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
hopefully finding that. I don't know who to call.
Apparently, making the first dunk in the dunk contest is like now the biggest factor because.
Yeah.
Yes, it kind of deflates it because, like, just say you missed your first dunk. Well, everybody knows what you're going to do already. So
right, yeah. Hey, Jeff, looking back at it, after I missed my first one, I should have just did a hard layup off the glass. Boom. Y'all like that?
Oh, yeah, exactly. That dunk contest.
Is that even worse? I feel like that's even worse.
Wow. Well, if you throw it in the air and catch it and slap the glass hard, Casey.
I mean, I can't do that. Period. So
By the way, I still contend that Chris Paul and Wemby did not cheat at the skills competition. They did not cheat.
I mean,
what's the definition of a shot attempt?
I don't know. The unwritten rules, the unwritten parts.
Does it say you have to cock your hand
back? The unwritten rules or the unwritten never cross before bridges of Victor Wembanyama. There's another.
I thought they gamed the system and they did a marvelous job of it.
Yeah. Chris Paul still not with the team, which is interesting. That'll be something to keep.
I thought he was going to Toronto.
Oh, he's not reporting to the team.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So that should be interesting the rest of the way.
What?
Anyways, hey, by the next time we get together, Chris Paul will have a team. That will be Monday, if I'm not mistaken. I got to double check on that for our next Spurs squad show. As we do, and then the next Spurs game is next Thursday until you see our San Antonio Silver and Black. That's where you catch Devin and I on the postcast every single night after every single game. And of course, Jeff's got you covered bright and early on the title pod like he does every single day, Monday through Friday. Shout out to you guys, man. This is a fun show. Viewership at home. You guys are real active, real engaged tonight. You're feeling good, understandably so. It's the All-Star break. And we've gotten 54 games through this thing. They haven't kicked us off the air yet. And it's a testament to you guys, too. Showing out. We're having fun doing it. So be sure to come back tomorrow. Jeff's got you covered on the title pod, as we will on the other side of the All-Star break. Be sure to do that. Be sure to enjoy it. Hopefully we get Devin back on the green because he's going to be nowhere near a computer or a TV, and that's good. And I'm glad. He deserves it. So that's it for my good buddy over there, Mr. NBA champion Devin Brown, host of the title pod, Jeff Garcia. I'm Casey Viera. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.